at the Orient Theatre, and we have the two fighters in the ring for this junior featherweight fight, scheduled for 8 rounds, between Mabhongo, Diko and Mzwandile, Somthunzi. And here's the official announcement,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 7th bout of the afternoon in the junior featherweight division over 8 rounds. These are the contestants. On my right, in white navy and red trunks, weighing 55.335 kg from King Williamstown, is Mabhongo Diko. And on the opposite corner, in white trunks, weighing 55.335 kg from Tanzania, is Mzwandile Somthunzi. He is the official. Referee Mr. Diko. Judges Mr. Mechanic Jan Shamanala. Timekeeper Mr. Chechani. Dr. Pinan is at the ringside. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, and all buckmen always win.
Kepler, this is the tail of the tape on the screen.
Yes, Mabhongo Diko is at 22 fights, of which is 112, 6 losses and 4 draws. And Somthunzi has got the slightly better record in 25 fights, 19 wins, 4 losses and 2 draws. Diko has got the white trunks with the trim, and Somthunzi is the man all in white.
Round number 1.
And here we ready to go, round 1. I guess I'd say that Diko also has a height and reach advantage. It appears that way.
He definitely does. He is taller than Somthunzi, and he's trying to use that left hand just to keep Somthunzi at bay.
Combination from Somthunzi on the inside.
Somthunzi hurls from Mabhongo, and that's a very healthy boxing area.
He's certainly putting some useful combinations together here early in round 1. Working well at close quarters. He's got to get past that jab of Diko because he is at a height and reach disadvantage.
This is another fight in the junior featherweight division, and as we said before, that this division is very active, particularly in the Eastern Cape.
Somthunzi caught Diko with a couple of good shots to the head. He's finding his rhythm and range early, Kepler.
He's trying to slip that left jab and then land some meaningful right hands, and he's succeeding in doing that.
Clearly, Diko will have to try and keep Somthunzi on the end of his punches. He's not able to do that so far. He's trying to use the perimeter of the ring, but Somthunzi seems to find it relatively easy to work his way to close quarters.
Somthunzi's coming forward all the time and landing the more powerful punches. Diko's on the retreat, and he'll battle to get power in those shots.
Well, there we go. Diko is down right to the jaw, did it. Looks to his corner, waiting for instructions to rise. And he's up at 8.
2 good right hands did the damage there. And Diko will have to have all his wits about him to get through this round.
Well, Somthunzi is all business here in round 1. Diko has been unable to keep him at bay with that left jab. He's been pumping out the left, but there's no power behind it. And then, of course, those 2 short rights to the head put him down. some replay from that first round. Overhead camera showing those two rights to the jaw that sent Diko sprawling to the canvas for an 8 count. Some more replay from that opening round. And you can see a terrific right to the jaw which shook Diko, and then the follow-up right hand sent him down for the count of 8. Round 2 scheduled for 8, and that was a very impressive round 1 for Somthunzi. He put Diko on the canvas.
He looks strong at this weight at the junior featherweight limit. He looks a particularly strong junior featherweight, and he's just trying to still slip that left jab and then counter.
No question about it. Somthunzi very dangerous on the inside once he gets past that jab of Diko. Diko's trying to use lots of lateral movement to get away from his opponent, but not altogether working for him.
He's not really setting himself when he's punching either, so he's lacking the punching power, and that allows Somthunzi just to keep coming forward and to keep throwing and allowing him to throw some good combinations.
Yeah, Somthunzi is actually walking right through Diko's punches. There's no power in those blows.
Diko tries to throw a left to the body every now and then, and that's how he got caught in the first round. He's actually quite open when he throws that left to the body.
He's doing quite a lot of work at close quarters. I think he'd be better suited to fight from the distance, but of course he's under a fair amount of pressure in round 2. Diko's persisting with that body barrage. And as Kepler pointed out, when he does that, he does drop his hands and leaves his jaw unprotected.
Yes, being the taller of the two fighters, he may well be advised to try and stay on the outside and get some leverage in his punches like he just did before.
Yeah, that was quite a useful right hand from Diko. The best punch so far from him. It seemed to stun Somthunzi, and so did that right. Perhaps he's getting his act together here in the second.
He's getting his punching range, and he definitely looks better when he stays on the outside.
Referee warning Somthunzi to keep his punches up. He looks to be a little shaken to me, Kepler.
He does. That was a very good right hand that landed there from Diko. And after dominating the fight, it came as a bit of a surprise to him, and it has shaken him up.
That's another right to the head, not quite as powerful as the previous two. Somthunzi hasn't quite recovered in any event, and there's the bell. That'll be great sound to his ears.
That was a much better round for Diko then. He threw some nice punches from the outside there, particularly a couple of good right hands, mixing it up with some left-right hand combinations, and he looked a lot better.
Round 3 of this junior featherweight fight between Mabhongo Diko. He's in the white with the trim and the blue belt band, and Mzwandile Somthunzi, he's in all white. And this fight has changed after a very emphatic round one for Somthunzi. He was in trouble in round two.
Somthunzi is finding it increasingly more difficult to get in on the inside. Diko is jabbing a lot better, and he's also found his range with the right hand, so it's a lot more difficult now for Mzwandile Somthunzi to get in on the inside and do some effective work.
Well, quite clearly this was the kind of fight that Diko should have been fighting from round one, but he didn't quite find his range, and before he knew where he was on the canvas. But he's pumping out that left jab now, trying to keep Somthunzi on the end of it.
That jab is pumping out very nicely, and there's more power on that straight right as well. And Somthunzi is now all of a sudden, after that good start, is having a few problems with Diko's style.
Yes, he's been stunned a couple of times. Quite clearly, Diko's putting more power behind his shots, found his range, got his rhythm, and beginning to look quite good.
Beautiful left jabs he's throwing, and they're stinging Somthunzi.
Useful left hooks from Somthunzi, but they didn't have the same effect. I think that Diko took the sting out of those punches with that right hand, which he's holding higher alongside his face.
Somthunzi is looking to throw that overhand right over the left jab of Diko, and he is getting through, but not as effectively as he did early on in the fight.
But at least he now has fully recovered. There's more purpose in his fighting, and he's got Diko backed against the ropes. Knocked him off balance momentarily.
Somthunzi certainly looks effective when he gets in close, and he's presenting Diko with all sorts of problems.
And I notice there's a cut on Diko's left eye. Could have been caused by a headbutt. As we come to the end of the third round. Well, it would appear that the blood was coming from Somthunzi's head. There must have been a clash of heads, Kepler.
Yes, there was. I still noticed a little bit of bleeding above Diko's left eye. So it seemed to happen in that furious exchange of punches, and it certainly appears to have been a head clash.
Terrific barrage of punches coming from Diko here at the start of the fourth round.
The action is really hotting up now, and Diko landed a very good right hand, but Somthunzi's fighting back all the way.
Furious fighting here in the fourth round of this junior featherweight fight. With little to choose between the men. blood that's trickling from Diko's left eye is troubling him. He's certainly not showing that.
Yes, his corner will have to do some good work between rounds, otherwise that bleeding might really trouble him as the fight goes on.
Particularly if Somthunzi can work on that cut, and he does have a very good right cross and a right hook.
Somthunzi is still trying to get him close, and that's the best place for him to be in this fight. Diko has surprised me a bit with his punching power. Good right hand there by Somthunzi.
Trying to trade with Somthunzi now, but barrage of punches coming from Somthunzi, staying right on top of Diko.
Somthunzi is relentless now. His power is definitely starting to count.
Yes, once again he's taken over control of this fight. This has been a very good round for him.
Two excellent right hands landed there by Somthunzi. Diko's in trouble.
Well, surprisingly, the referee decided not to count. And now he's taking time out. Oh, he wants the doctor to check that cut.
There's quite a lot of blood, so it does look like a bad cut at this stage. And the blood is running in his eye, so it must be hampering his vision.
Well, the doctor is checking that cut. You can see on your screen, having a good look at it. And they decide the fight will continue.
This is certainly an all-action fight, and the crowd is getting their money's worth.
There's a replay from that fourth round, and you can see the punches which Diko is trying to use to drive Somthunzi backwards. Furious exchange. Well, Diko's corner a little slow in taking the stool out at the start of the fifth round.
At the halfway mark of this fight, got Somthunzi slightly ahead as he seems to be gaining in strength and looking good again.
Yes, for a while there in round two, he looked to be in a certain amount of trouble, but he's come back very strong indeed. But Diko hasn't given up yet. He's started very well here at the start of the fifth round, and my goodness.
He certainly has. He's a gutsy character because he was in a lot of trouble early in the fight and he's fought his way back.
Well, that was a low blow, and referee has to warn Somthunzi once again to keep his punches up.
Diko's corner did some good work on his eye there. They've temporarily stemmed the bleeding, which will be a relief to him. Somthunzi is still pursuing him, trying to get on the inside and putting as much pressure on him as possible at this point.
Well, this fight has been fought at a furious pace. This is round 5. It's scheduled for 8. And oh, what a terrific right to the jaw. That's put Diko down, and I don't know if he's going to get up. Well, he's been counted out by referee Jacobs. quite clearly in no condition to continue, Kepler.
Well, Somthunzi was looking to land that right hand throughout the fight, and he did so successfully on a number of occasions, but that was a beautifully executed punch. He saw the opening and he really pounced, and that was a good fight.
Yes, quite clearly the best fight we've seen so far this afternoon. And a very good win for Mzwandile Somthunzi. He has a replay. You'll see what happened in that fifth round. There's the right hand. Bang on the button and down goes Diko. And very bravely he pulled himself to his feet before he was counted out, but quite wisely I thought referee Jacobs continued to count.
Well, Somthunzi executed that right hand perfectly. He came over the top with it and it connected right on the button. But as you say, I think Diko is a gutsy character. He was under pressure from the word go, but he certainly never gave up.
A very, very good round of applause.
Well, lots of applause for Mzwandile
Ladies and
Somthunzi.
gentlemen, the winner by a KO in 1 minute 44 seconds of the fifth round is Mzwandile Somthunzi.
Well, no question, Kepler, that was a very good win for Somthunzi. But as you pointed out, Diko put up a very good fight indeed, because he almost turned it around and unfortunately wasn't able to keep Somthunzi on the end of his punches, and I think that was the key, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. In the end, Somthunzi's strength really helped him. He managed to get inside and finish off Diko. There are certainly some possibilities for Somthunzi in this junior featherweight division. There are some very good junior featherweights in this area. Tony Batala I can think of as one, and that'll make a very good fight. Both local boys. It should be a good crowd puller.
Yes, well, there's no question that at that weight you do see a lot of action. It's unlike the heavier divisions where the pace is invariably a lot slower. The junior featherweights put a lot of work into their fights, and this was a magnificent fight here this afternoon. Really interesting. Both men were in the fight at certain stages, and then, of course, that superbly timed right to the jaw ending it in the fifth.
One just had the feeling throughout the fight that if Somthunzi could land, he could finish Diko off. Diko was really boxing on the retreat most of the time and struggled to get some power in his punches, but he came back very well in round two after a hesitant start and really guts it out all the way to the end.
Well, on your screen at the moment, you probably noticed, or here's a replay of that, the final seconds of that fight with Diko, and facing camera is Somthunzi driving Diko back towards the ropes, and wait for that right hand. There it is, bang on the button. Well, that has to be one of the finest finishing punches I've seen in a long time, Kepler.
Yes, he just feinted Diko and then came over the top beautifully, and it was a perfectly executed straight right.